Well, hello there. How's it going?
Well, happy
Yay.
holidays.
Hi, friends. We're back again. Back again.
We're back.
Yes.
Your favorite twins are here again to tell you some topics, some stories, and hang out and talk to you.
Yeah. Wish you a happy holidays as well. Um, let's get started, shall we?
Sure. So yeah.
So, so
So
first, how are you doing today? How you doing, bro? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm actually quite good. Today was like a pretty slow day for work, but I did a lot of got a lot accomplished today.
Yeah.
It's not as cold as it was last week, which is good here. I saw some clips of you where you guys are at and where you're located. I heard it's crazy snow there where
It
you're
is freezing cold. It's ridiculous. Honestly, it's minus 30 in minus 30s. Honestly, it's like you'll poo your pants for the heat. It's so cold.
at.
It's so cold. It's so
Yeah.
cold.
Paying
Like
big.
you have to your car up because you don't, the car won't start. It's just like the weather's just is horrendous. Like it's just like you're ashy all the time. If you're melanated, you're ashy as heck. But
That's something about being melanated in Canada is that you always have to have your bring your lifetime supply of coconut oil. It's really
yeah,
important.
and lotion. Yeah, that everywhere you go. If not, you're just gonna be horrible.
Mhm.
Horrible. Yeah. So it's like
You
pretty
actually
cool. Like we've had some yeah, people have issues with it with their heating and especially around the homeless people around this time is really bad because they're out on the street. So
oh yeah,
it's pretty bad. Especially here, it's really cold.
imagine, yeah. So let's get into these hot topics for the week, Mike. So I'm curious to think what you have in store
You
for
want me to
the
go
week.
first?
Yeah, I want you to go first
Okay.
this time.
Okay. All right. Oh yeah. So I read this article. I'm not sure how true it is. They found under the Euphrates River. They found they think they found the remains of Enkidu
Oh, whoa.
yeah. It takes you back to back to your Tuskegee days. Enkidu,
Hmm.
remember the day in history. Yeah, they found it or Nephilim. They found like some sort of like either a fallen angel or some really strange like a body that was preserved really well underneath the Euphrates River. So in in the Bible it says that there's like four angels trapped underneath the
Hmm.
Euphrates, and when they're set free, like a third of the world's going to die. That's the Bible. I mean, there's just off the Bible stuff, but
Yeah,
it's
I think I heard about the story. I think it was a scientist that said that they found like large remains of something. I think I have heard about this.
yeah, it's pretty interesting because I guess it's supposed to symbolize the end of days and stuff. But I think we're gonna find more and more strange things in general because it's getting kind of like because of technology so advanced now that we're trying to find things that we normally would not find. That's all. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think with our technology and how far advanced, like you're saying, we are, and we are scientific research is set up now, it's easier for us to kind of delve into, different types of either like structures or even like rock and things that we were able to do before, things we weren't able to really get into. Now we're able to really just drill into and actually do a lot more, especially with X-ray and things like that. We do have a lot more
And now
technology.
they have sonar tech where you go in, they can see through sound. It's just really really cool. They go
Yeah,
through and
that
see.
is a sonar detector. Yeah, I heard about that because of they do a lot of sonar detecting when it comes to paintings. Like a lot of times, painters from ancient times they would paint over the ones we see currently, so they
Oh,
use protection to see behind
yeah,
the paint. Yeah,
that's cool. That's really cool.
it's
All
pretty
right, so
cool.
what do you have? I'm curious to know what you have for us. What do you have for us?
Oh, sure. So I actually found something pretty cool. Something actually in your neck of the woods in Alberta. I don't know if you heard about this. Have you heard about the current issues with the Sovereignty Act that just passed there last week?
Oh, I heard a little bit about it. Can you go more detail with it about it?
Sure. So with the Sovereignty Act, it pretty much states that any local, not provincial, but local government body entity, such as school boards or police, uh, they can actually go against law if they feel like it's unconstitutional to Canada. So there's a big issue with that with the Cree Indians living in Alberta and living in Alberta because
Yeah.
they're in fear that their treaty will be basically null and void because of that. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
they're actually having a lawsuit right now against
Oof.
the province, and they're wanting to just make sure that they keep the power that they have, and they're trying to get themselves seen as their own governing body. So it's
That's
pretty
pretty
interesting
cool.
to see. So what do you think about it? And
Oh,
also what happened was with that with this law that was just passed, they actually weren't even mentioned as a counter as a talking point. They weren't even brought
at
up.
all.
or
They've been
even
brought
mentioned,
in the conversation at
or
all.
even like allowed to actually have a say so in the government
Yeah,
law.
yeah.
So what do you think about that, Mike?
Well, I feel like they should, and hopefully they will. I feel like what's really good about Canadian government, they try their best to address. You know, they not do it immediately. At least they try to address the issues. You know, when they can. I feel like in the United States they don't. And when it comes to any type of minority in
Mhm.
the United States, it's like that's the most crazy extreme case where people have to die and crazy things that happen in order for something major to happen before they change anything. Whereas in terms for Canada, it will get talked about. It will be changed. It just takes them a little bit of time. That's really good about that. But I do think that yeah, the Sovereignty Act definitely needs to be like more needs to be discussed and more. It needs to be like just more of a meeting of the minds with everyone, not just like government officials saying this is how we're going to do it. And a lot of times that happens. People and that never bodes well for any government when they do things like that in general.
No,
I
I
agree with
100% agree with that because I think as people who are First Nations, I think it's important, and even our background, we have a bit of Native in our background too. But in general, when it comes to First Nations, I think a lot of times they're not even seen. So it's important that when government has these laws, especially if they're treaties, if who's to say if a police officer could come over to their their side of town or even their jurisdiction, their area, and say, "Hey, this is our area,"
you. Yeah,
and because they think that it's unconstitutional, they can just take it over, and that's not
that's
right.
true. That's
So
true.
there has to be balance in law.
That's good. Good. That's good topic. Good topic.
For sure, for sure.
So that's the topic that I have. Because I watch. I quite often watch T.S. Madison. 'Cause I love teaching it. T.S.
Yeah,
Madison. She's
yeah,
really
yeah.
amazing. She's a trans woman, and her show was just so enlightening, so funny. And one of the topics she talked about was call centers. So I thought, well, what would be really cool for us to talk about because we used to work at a call center for a long time, actually, me and you, and we did a lot of different things. We should talk about like things people don't do and don't know about call centers, or maybe most of the people
Oh
don't know
yeah.
about call centers. So I'll go first, get the ball rolling. So I think what people don't know about call centers is when you call in to get help from anyone, they put you on hold and you hear the music in the background. They can actually hear what you're doing on the phone. So
Mhm.
I mean, it's like so if you call in and say, okay, so oh yeah, put your hold, Mr. Customer for whatever or client, put your hold, and they place your hold, your music, they can hear everything you're saying. Period. And they want to hear everything you're saying. I think that's
Yeah, I think it's very important, especially people who actually
yeah,
have kids or go to the bathroom a lot when they're on phone calls. So people
yeah.
just know that we can hear or people can hear you when you're there. So just make sure that you're in a place that's quiet, and there's not a lot going on, or things that you may not want to be heard. Make sure that you actually keep that to yourself for sure.
Because also they record those calls. So when you hear this is recorded for quality assurance, so anything you say they use against you later on. So as because they can transcript what you're saying and use it against you in law, right?
I think a really important thing to remember, especially working at a call center, is that initial welcoming when people welcome you and say, "Hello, this is whoever. Thank you for calling this number." Normally, that's a recording. So I think people will forget because that's a recording that they think that because someone's energy level is that high, that when you get them, they'll always be at that level. So understand that this person might be having a bad day. This person may be actually not feeling too well. So
Yeah.
just have a heads up of being conscious of your first listening to that interaction, that may not be what you're getting at first. So make sure you kind of give it a beat, listen to the person, hear what they're kind of hear how they're kind of going, and kind of
Yeah.
follow their lead from that point. I would say.
Also, as a customer, I would say, or a client, or someone calling into a call center, I'll say that also that your last option can always be talking to a manager. A lot of times, you'll talk to
Mhm,
a person on the phone, and you feel like they're the only
mhm,
ones who can solve your problem. And they act like they're the only ones who solve your problem. And typically, there's fail safes in well, the company has leeway adjusting to
mhm,
help the customer get what they need. So, for example, if I
mhm,
know, say, I need a credit or I need something fixed or a placement or something, they have labs and sorts which is pretty much giving you what you want or giving you money towards your credit towards whoever it is. So if you just stay fast, sorry, say you don't say stay fast, you say stay fast, and you keep asking for a manager, a speech manager. Typically, if you resort to I'm going to cut my service off, I'm going to quit my service or end it, they'll help you. They'll try to help you most
yeah.
of
So yeah,
the time.
and on that same token, though, understand that I know a lot of people that they think that they can do anything, that people can do anything for you. That's actually not the case either. They'll be able to actually definitely negotiate and do things with you, but just know that now companies nowadays they're so smart with technology. They have systems that actually will check your system, how many bills you paid, what you've done on your account. That
Big
actually
question. Your
will
receipts.
actually garner you an option that would help you to best suit your needs. So understand that they might not be giving you the whole house for free, but they'll be able to give you a lot more than you asked, probably what you think to ask for sure. So
Mhm.
I think it's important for sure not to forget that there's always an option, but remember there's limits to those options for sure.
Yep. Also, I'm going to piggyback off what I said earlier too about how when I said when they put you on hold and there's music and they can hear you. Also, it's important that you understand that too because sometimes they'll put you on hold for a long time, make you hang up, to make you hang up the phone. So because a lot of times they'll put you on hold for a long period of time because they don't want to deal with the situation or issue
Mhm.
because they want to just basically wait you out, kind of like wait until you get tired enough to hang up
It's
the
like
phone.
ghosting you. Yep.
First person you on hold on
Being
those.
ghosted on a call for customer service. That does happen, yes. I think, but I think it is important if you do notice that your maybe a technician's having hesitation or having an issue where trying to kind of take care of your issue, it might be best to speak to someone else because sometimes I think they're doing the best they can in their power to help you, and they're going to try to take over the call and do everything they can. But if it's something that they just don't know, it's okay. I would say it's okay to just let them know, hey, I know you're doing your best. Maybe is there someone else that can maybe help me and see what they can do.
Mhm.
That's an option too.
And also understand your with any company. This is this. I'm saying this next point with any company. You have bargaining power. So, for example, if I
Mhm.
want this particular deal and then I give it to me and I speak to someone else and they're willing to give it to me somewhere else, it's best for you to tell the person you're dealing with, hey, I've spoke to so and so from this company and they're willing to give me
Mhm.
this. What are you guys going to do?
For sure. That's really important to do. I think most companies, they normally have price matching or some sort of option that can balance off whatever
Mhm.
they're offering you. So yeah, absolutely. That's a
Yeah, yeah.
great
Is there
point.
anything else you want to add on to this? Anything
I
else
think
you could add?
also it's what's important is definitely don't call if you're in driving or if you're in a
Oh
serious
yeah.
kind of situation because I've when I worked at a call center, I actually have been on the phone call where someone actually they were wanting to get something done business related and we were on the phone and they were so preoccupied with what we're talking about they got into a car accident. So I think if you have to and if it's something really important or you see something
Mhm.
that's kind of taking you out of I guess your normal pattern, just pull over to the side for sure and take care of that
Mhm.
call. I think it's important.
Mhm. I also think if you're calling, you're upset or you're angry, take a beat, take a breath, and take a moment
For
and
sure.
collect yourself because a lot of times you don't want to come across as being unreasonable, being crazy. You
Mhm.
want them to understand how you feel, and a lot of times if you're calm about your frustration, they'll help you. More as if you're screaming, yelling, they won't help you at all.
And remember that these people are human beings. So like when you talk to them over the phone, like understand that they number one, most times if you're calling a company, whether it's insurance or cell phone company or if it's wherever company they're calling from, more likely they have your information in front of you. So that's
Mhm.
that's that's a really deterrent to kind of get you to understand that let's be nice to this person. Let's
Mhm.
let's make sure that
Yeah.
I on my side as a customer service, as a customer, give the best, I guess, give them my I guess my most courteous self to
Impressive.
help
Yeah,
help.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll end it with this too. Also, like you always want to be kind. You always be courteous. You always want to
Mhm.
make sure that you always fill out. They ask you to fill out a survey, fill it out. Honestly, because that's the only real feedback they get. Who get from. So if it's really crappy service, like fill that out and say and be really specific
Yes.
about what it is you don't like. Because a lot of times it gets so automated, with
Mhm.
automated systems that people don't care. They just want to hang up the phone and not deal with it. But seriously, those things are very important. Very,
I
really
agree.
important.
I agree. Feedback is really important.
Yeah. Well, that's it for that segment. Your turn, bro. What's next? What you
That's
got?
good. So, my second talking point today will be about the most current news came out. I normally I try to steer we try to steer away from politics for the most part, but I think this is really important.
Mhm.
Um, House committee voted to release Trump's tax returns. Actually, just came out where they're going to
Ooh.
release the 2016 taxes. Where back in 2021 when he actually left in January, they actually just asked for them, but he never filed them or turned
Oh.
them in. So, what do you think about that? About his tax returns being so late in getting them
Yeah.
turned in. Also, not just that, but also how do you feel about it being released to the public?
Well, I think it should be released because that was a big discrepancy. I feel like when he was in office, he basically kept harping on how Obama was not an was not an American citizen
Mhm,
or not from the United States, whatever it was. He was, he kind of forced him to show his kind of like forced him to go into this place where like no, he's actually a citizen, and they had this his
mhm,
Hawaii information ID or whatever. So to me, it's like if you're gonna hold someone else to that kind of scrutiny, you hold yourself to the exact same scrutiny. So to me, it's like it doesn't matter anyway. Like we all know what Trump's about. It's not. I don't think it's about the person himself. I think it's about the what he represents in general. And he told
mhm.
everybody at the beginning he's corrupt. So it means like someone said they're corrupt. They said they're this. What makes you think they'll be any different? Any different?
I agree. I think also when it comes to him, I think this person was the president of the United States, and I think you're held to a higher standard than most because you're actually the leader of that they say the leader of the first world or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're held to a higher standard, and I think it's important because every year we pay taxes. Every year we have to pay. We have to
It's true.
show what we spend and bring it to the IRS.
Mhm.
Why are you above reproach or above that
I,
standard
I
that you're
think
all of
I
these
think
things?
I hate
Yeah.
politics now because I feel like I don't like any sides right now. I like any of the sides right now. Periods to me, it's like so. Anyway, you kind of you slice it to me, I'm kind of annoyed the fact that all these people getting so much money, but the common
Mhm.
people in the United States are suffering, are really suffering, and
Yeah.
basically trying to figure out how to feed themselves and stay
Mhm.
warm and not be sick. So to me, that kind of like that just bothers me. Period. So to me,
I
it's like
agree.
I feel like there's no yeah. I feel both sides have a lot of stuff to work on.
I agree. I think politics has become very corrupt, but I do have to say that even just because there's definitely corruption on both sides, but I think they're even though both kind of suck, at least I think one side is definitely a bit more
More
corrupt.
suckier, more
I would say
suckier than the other.
I'd say that fast. I'll leave
More
it.
suckier than the other. More suckier than
I'll leave
the
it
other.
at that.
Has more suckers than the other.
Just
Yeah.
bitch. Yes.
Okay.
So,
All right.
what's up with you, bro? What you got?
Okay. What do I have next? I have. Oh yeah. Did you hear that? Oh, talk corruption. Wait to hear this. Here, Wells Fargo was ordered to pay $3.7 billion, um, because they unrightfully foreclosed and repoed cars.
They wait, unrightfully repossessed cars?
Yeah, yeah, and house foreclosures and took out homes like people.
So how did they unlawfully do that? That's weird. They just
Well, they're a bank mark, so the bank basically the bank controls. Basically, when you pay
based
the bank,
on
the bank,
today
the bank
earnings.
takes your gives you the statements, tells you what you owe and what you need to do and all that stuff. So either I'm assuming they either allegedly, let me say allegedly because I'm not
Right,
sure
right,
what,
right.
but I feel like they probably trumped up, not trumped up. They probably it's not Trump. No, they probably inflated their bills, inflated their bills and took
This
people's
is
homes.
horrible. As a
Yeah,
bank,
right, right,
aren't you
right.
supposed to be having, aren't you supposed to be having, airtight,
Mhm.
I'm
But
not saying
no, but no, no, but I don't think you understand how deep this corruption goes when it comes to banks. So with banks, what they do is so when they do something like that, they'll basically say, "Oh, so Mr. Jones, you had your house for this many years. Unfortunately, you can't pay your mortgage, so we're taking your whole entire home." And then they'll ditch the whole entire block. Say especially in
right.
low income homes, like black owned homes or whatever, or
Mhm.
and they'll get rid of that whole entire block and put a high rise, and then
Yep,
regentrify the neighborhood and make cost more money to live there. So they make
yep.
more money off it,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and and people still owe money for that
I mean, we
for
see it all the time here in San Francisco, so, yeah, that's not anything new, but, yeah, I think it is sad that the bank has to resort to such those just
grimy
shiesty
tactics. Yeah,
shiesty
right.
yeah,
Shiesty,
ways
shiesty.
to get money, so, yeah,
That's not even nice. It's nasty. It's just nasty.
it's like an arch villain type
But
behavior.
like three point
It's
seven
it's the arch
billion,
villain for me.
3.7 billion.
It's
I
the arch villain for me.
what do you say? What do you say? What do you say?
It's the arch villainy for me.
I know. I know. I mean, it's giving Cruella de Vil tease.
It's
Bank
getting
Cruella,
mastermind.
pretty much. Anyway, so what do you have next? What do you have next?
Sure. So, recently, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake hit actually California and Fortuna, which is closer to Eureka, California. It's northern California. Um, Earthquakes have been happening frequently. The last earthquake happened about a month ago here in San
Ooh.
Francisco. So, what do you think about that, bro? About earthquakes that are
Oh
happening?
man, like earthquakes. I think we're getting a lot of seismic activity in general because of the way, like I guess, because everything's happening with the environment in general. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like yeah, we're gonna see crazier things in general. I just think that
Mhm,
we have to be more like, I don't know. You just make sure you have your insurance. Make sure you have your
mhm.
everything that you need to make sure that flooding all that stuff. Like, well, a lot of times that's also happens. People don't have any insurance on their homes or insurance, and then they lose everything. So it's just good to be prepared. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
You know what
I
happened?
know here being in the area, I won't say it's scary, but I am definitely more cautious of it and aware of it. I know the last earthquake we had, I actually was driving, so I didn't really feel too much of it, but I heard about the effects of different people called me and said, "Hey, this is happening," or and I realized when I saw things shifted in the house, I think, there was earthquake. So, yeah, I mean, it does happen, but I think what people forget is wherever you live, there's always going to be some sort of national disaster, some sort of kind of
It's
national
true.
event, whether
It's
it's a tornado, whether it's a snowstorm, whether it's flooding. So I think it's just be important to be aware of where you are and be cautious and know your exits.
Yeah, like even Virginia, they had a flooding one time where like honestly, like they had no water for 2 days. So like, can you imagine having water for 2 days?
And
Like
I
you
mean,
not
it's
even drinking water.
water. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
that's
mean, like you like
that's
that's insane.
crazy.
Or they couldn't take showers either because the water gets
Yep,
contaminated or something.
for
It's
2 days.
insane. So it happens everywhere. Just knowing like your area, know what like the major disasters are in that area, so you can prepare for them. That's pretty much all you can really can do, right?
That's true.
I think it's my turn, right? It's my
It is
turn.
your turn. Uh-huh.
It's my turn. It's my turn. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Hold on. Oh, yeah, okay. People in the service industry. So there's a trend that's going on now where people, and it's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, where people will go like try to get their hair done, or go like to like a specialty place, and they'll
Mhm,
just complain just to get with services for free. So like, imagine someone doing your hair for 3 hours,
mhm.
or someone someone doing bridal makeup for however long it takes. The person's like, I don't like this. I'm not paying for this, and walk off and leave. And the juxtaposition of this, the kind of scary part of this is like the people who are the service industry servers. It sucks because if they complain, they're gonna get like bad reviews or bad publicity. So in order for them not to get bad, publicity, they just don't say anything. That people person just go away. So what do you think about that?
I think you should. I mean, I don't know what happened to the days of.
You
Well,
know,
I guess. I guess.
you beat the brakes off. You beat the brakes
Yeah,
off.
no, I think gone are the days of when people were able to pay for services, and even if it's bad, at least you give some sort of compensation
Yeah,
for the time you
yeah.
spend to work. Now
Mhm.
it's almost as though, I mean, depending on who you speak with, they're like, okay, well, they didn't do it the way you wanted it, so don't pay for it. I feel like that's a horrible, horrible business practice. I think it's important to pay your service workers, even that they're not the greatest. And what you do is just don't go to that service worker again. If it's something where you're getting a service
Right,
that's
right.
not great, just go to another service worker next
Or
time.
what happened to back in the day when things were wrong, and like say you did something wrong, or you messed up, that you opportunity to fix it, and then when you fix it, they fix it the way
I
you
agree.
like it, and then that's it. But like, why is it nowadays people are like, oh no, you effed up, that's it. I'm taking, I'm different. It's like, I don't think that. I think you have I think you have an obligation once you sit in someone's chair, or you get your whatever's you done, whatever it is, that they're opportunity to fix it first, and then they don't fix it, get your money back. Or then they don't fix it, then get a partial, whatever. But
Mhm.
like, for them to sit for 3 or 4 hours of their day to do what it is they need to do for you, and then you just walk off with that money. That's like $3 or $4 a service, depending on what you're doing.
No, I agree. I saw this funny clip on, I think, TikTok or something, where this lady's getting her hair done. So she came into the salon. Her hair was fully done, but she came in to get her hair done. So they said, okay, well, did you wash your hair? Yeah. Did you press her? Or did you just, yeah? They're all okay. She sat in the chair. It's okay. Here's just $275. Okay, here, thank you. And it's almost like, I understand the first point of the service, but then there's another point where, like, for example, now, like when you go to a barber shop or hair salon, whatever, they want you to wash your hair first and then do all the things first before you come in.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's free to all. It's right.
And then they charge you for doing those fees, those things that they used to do back, before. And I kind of understand the time premise, trying to save money, but then it's like you're part of the service of me getting my hair. If you're a person of ethnicity, part of the service of getting your hair done is actually going and having someone to actually to put nutrients
Wash
in your
hair.
hair, wash it, set it, things like that. So like for me, I feel like it's a little bit of a cop out, a little bit. I
And
think also
nickel diamond.
it's nickel dime, but I think also if you're going to charge me for doing that, then I feel like, or if you're going to make sure I do that before I get in, then you need to take that off my bill. Take half of it
Yeah,
out of
sure,
the
sure,
cost.
sure.
That's how I feel. What do you
Okay.
think, bro?
No, I agree with that. But what I'm talking about, I see people like knowingly know they
I
know
know,
what
but
they're
it's a
doing.
separate topic. It's a separate topic.
Yeah. Well, okay. So yeah. So with your topic, I think
Mhm.
yeah, I agree. I feel like yeah, don't nickel dime your customers. It's like what happens when you do something like that? It begins to cheapen what you're doing, and people don't want to come to you. Like people don't go for just the hair; they go for the experience, or whatever it is you're going
Agree.
for. It's the experience, the ambiance. They go for the whole entire, oh, I'm spending the time to go out and do this amazing thing, and that's just like enjoy it. So yeah, if you tend to itemize everything, then I wouldn't want to go to either. Just being honest.
I agree.
Because
100%
if
agree.
I could bring some water, they'll pay $10 for that water. Water you giving me?
And it better be Fiji.
Is exactly. Exactly. Okay, at least it's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay. So the next one is Elon Musk refused to step down as the owner of Twitter. People have actually been lighting him up on Twitter and Instagram to ask him to step down because he's actually caused so much havoc within the company, and he says he refuses to do so. What do you think about that?
Ooh, I think I saw something about him do like a poll or something. He did a poll or something about to ask people they want him to step down or something. I could be wrong allegedly. I feel like he did something where he did like he felt like he mentioned it to Twitter about him stepping down or something. But yeah,
Yep.
I feel like he should or become a silent leader. I feel like you should do it in a silent way. I feel like he's too big of a personality. I feel like and to have the whole reputation of Twitter on your back. That's huge. It's huge. That's like having the whole reputation of YouTube on your back. There's so many bad things about YouTube, so many good things about this, so many good things about everything, good and bad for everything. But when you put your face on top of something like that, it's like you put a target on your back. I
Yeah.
don't know how to say it.
I feel like totally. I think you're right. He should be a solid partner. It's one thing to run a technology company. It's a whole nother to run a social media company.
Yeah,
I think he
yeah.
thought because he ran technology, that's easier for him to kind of transition over. And in some aspects, maybe financially, maybe he'll know a lot of things. But when it comes to social media and kind of moving that machine, it's completely different. So I
It's
think,
very
and I think also, I think he probably wasn't expecting that his people who worked under him became so vocal and speaking out to him. But I think he needs to understand is it's Twitter. Twitter is a very vocal. It's a
it,
very
it,
media
very
outlet. So
subjective. Very subjective in general. In general, it's subjective. So it's not gonna be.
yeah,
You can't really. Most times, these big people, with money, they control people with their money. But when it comes to like a social media platform, people are, and he's trying to make it more free, so everyone can say anyone can say. It's like so. Then you have to be able to take it. You have to be able to
yeah.
take with your allowing.
There's an ethical stand. There's an ethical. I think he missed the ethical part of it. There's an ethics
Yeah.
part where everyone kind of has similar. Even though we say that everyone is can express themselves the way they want, there's still underlying belief everyone has under when it comes to treating people fairly at work and
Okay.
just making sure everyone's okay and social like, war things like that where we all kind of are on most of us are on the same page. So
It's
when you're
true.
not on that page, then you will get scrutiny. I think so.
It's
I
true.
think it's really he didn't take that into consideration. So, do I think he needs to step down? I do think he does. I think he should at least or be a silent partner. But I think when it comes to being the head leader, I think he should just gracefully just back down and be quiet.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
And be
have
quiet.
a quiet person, but
It is,
don't.
black folks like your grandma or CC like sit your. It's like so you like sit your like sit
Shut
there,
your
be
shut your
sit down, be quiet, sit down, be quiet. It's like sit down, we be quiet. You get no pinch,
exactly.
You just
Church
sit and
pinch.
sit.
The church pinch.
Church pinch, you pinch and twist. There are little church pinch. Like just like sit down and be quiet. Just don't be quiet. But
Exactly.
yeah,
Take this mint in mama's purse. Take this mint and be quiet. Close your mouth.
exactly. It's words original.
Exactly.
No. So the last time, did you see Mark? Oh God, you'll laugh. Did you see Terry, Joe, and Bob drag queen together?
Yeah, I did see this.
I laughed so hard. It was
Mhm.
so. For honestly, the highlights of that reel is if you guys don't know who Terry Joe is, it's a guy who I don't say I want to say they're trans. I don't think they are. I think they're just a person who's like a drag. It's drag.
That's
Good name
right,
drag.
yeah, for sure.
Drag is basically
Uh-huh.
illusion of a woman trying in an artistic way, right? So he's a
Right,
comedian who dressed in drag, right?
right.
And he had Bob the drag queen on there, and it was so funny. What did he say? What did he say to her? It was so hilarious. He's like, because he says, yeah, I hang around promiscuous women, and she's like, oh yeah, you know, yeah, because you are what you eat, right? And then Bob's like, oh, so if you are you, then you are everything. Then you're
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 everything.
you're everybody. Laugh character is so funny. So it was so hilarious. So
No, I love Terry Joe. I think it's funny because I think even though she's hilarious and I think it's just
hilarious.
funny overall watching the show. And if you don't know her, she's on TikTok. But in general though, I think she's like almost a social commentary on how people interact with each other online. And it's funny
Yeah.
how like she will basically like she'll get these people from all over the world and she'll kind of talk about like very homophobic, very
Mhm.
hot button talk racial topics and so
Yeah, yeah.
really she's black and she's gay herself. The person's black and gay who's playing her. So even though he's saying a lot of this rhetoric, he's kind of mimicking what people hear in a way that's hilarious and actually bring it to people where it makes you think about what you're laughing at. So
And I love that Terry Joe does it in a way because she pretends to be an old Southern or old Southern. So you almost
or
these
very
old
rich, or
and
very rich.
rich, yeah, and old antiquated like back in the day,
Yes.
like ideals, and she lives them out as she's talking. It's so funny, it's hilarious. Like, and you laugh because she even just disassociates with being black. It's fine when she's a black. It's hilarious.
You know, even like I think the funny ones I've seen are definitely her and Doja Cat and her and Madonna. They're funny.
Her and those cats, I mean, just hilarious.
It's funny.
It's so funny. So, you got anything else?
That's all I got.
That's it. So that's it. Then that's it. Then that's all we got for this week.
Yeah.
Well, so we hope you guys are having a happy holidays. Hope that you enjoy your family and friends. Hope that you have a great time. That you make sure you like, comment, subscribe to all our content, and we'll make sure we give you more content coming to the new year. Maybe we'll do a New Year's special. A New Year's.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. And also feel free to send us some topics if you want to hear something you want us to talk about. We'd be more than happy to talk about it too. So
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. I think our YouTube is Luxuryus. So Luxuryyus music. You find us on that. You find us on YouTube, Facebook, and then also on Twitch. Yay! So any of those things you're leaving any media there, or you can DM us, private message us on Facebook, and we'll message back too. And we want some more topics. So the more you bring us, the more we'll talk about, and the funnier and the more hilarious, the better too, because they force us to research too. It'll be funny.
Oh, also check out our friend Wuji actually just put out a mix on SoundCloud. We'll try to post it somewhere on our page, but if you can go to his account, Wuji WUJI, check out his account and check out his music.
Yeah. Yay! So we'll see you guys next time. So Merry Christmas. We'll see you before then.
Bye guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Bye. Bye.